One Piece favorite clown Buggy is aiming for the Pirate King title.
Because he's a bad man.
Let's talk about just how bad he is.
And he is the most deserving, seeing how he got sick before Roger Pirates actually went to Laugh-Tale, but also least deserving from losing to the true Pirate King in the East Blue to Impel Down prisoners joining him and making him look better after the Impel Down arc, and his moment with Whitebeard and Marineford, and also interacting with Red Hair Shanks, of course, got him the Warlord position, and finally Yonko position. But today's chapter, he was the most Pirate King-like compared to Mihawk and Crocodile, who made him a Yonko with their combined 5.5 billion berry bounty. So stick to the end to hear my crazy thoughts on this One Piece chapter. We're gonna do a deep dive when it comes to the Cross Guild and Pirate King Buggy. Is this actually gonna happen? We can't forget about the Revolutionary Army, Sabo, Dragon. So much things happen in this chapter. In the eyes of the angel. Okay, I don't know if that's the lyrics, but Vice Admiral TBone got packed out in this chapter. So I thought before I actually do a deep dive, let me give some respect to TBone. Remember, he was said to be a former knight, and he had a pretty cool debut in Enies Lobby. He hated crooked fighting. That's because he fought in a more, how to say this, angle, a better angle than it's crooked. And you have to understand, he has named attacks like right angle flash bone soir. Of course, he cut a Neptunian Sea King, and he forced Zoro to put the bandana on pre-time skip. TBone had an amazing marine life on the line that he will put on for justice, and will not fail to protect the lives of innocent civilians, but got killed by one, which is very ironic. Marines need to fix up. If the civilians are killing you guys, that means they're really people struggling out here. Now I do want to say this, the ship slasher got clout. Flying Bird Bone versus Bull Demon from Zoro, the mutual respect in these characters. Bird of Prey, but Zoro predicted it and did the courageous talent that destroyed him. Zoro respects the willpower to chase a sea train by foot through a storm, and says our burdens are just heavy too, just like your burden for justice. All I'm trying to say is, TBone, you definitely lived a great life, but I will say, is he really dead? He looks like a dead character when he was already alive. So could this situation happen where TBone fake death so people can actually eat? That would make him even a more legendary character on the status of Bon Clay. But let's talk about what we really want to talk about in the thumbnail and the title. It's Buggy. And of course, Buggy is giving the flowers to the guy who killed TBone. And it looks like a really old dude. Buggy saying, you killed the HQ Vice Admiral. So we find out that TBone got, of course, upgraded. And Buggy says, join Cross Guild. And I'm thinking this guy has to be a legendary character to kill TBone. It's an old man. Now I'm thinking there's definitely something up here, because they say, talk about a stunt and how the Marines want his head. So I'm just thinking, what is going on in this whole situation now? We also see Buggy's new ship for Cross Guild, the Yonko ship, and Buggy's new ship has a clown figure head. And all I'm thinking is, when he was a warlord, did he not have a ship? Like, what was going on there? We know he had his old island, he was just posted chilling there, but now he has a ship with a clown head figurehead. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I see Buggy's ship on the seas, yo, I will definitely be shaking like, yo, that's the Yonko Buggy the Clown. Because you have to understand, nobody knows that Buggy's actually a weakling. Nobody actually knows that. And I like seeing Mihawk and Crocodile's reaction, because let's be honest here, they're the true Yonko of the Cross Guild movement. And they're like, yeah, let's talk in the meeting room. It's like everyone's like, okay, yeah, Buggy, Mihawk, and Crocodile are all gonna discuss some very important Yonko business in the meeting room. These three legendary pirates, three former warlords, and all we see is Buggy. It's funny, his body's not even attached to it, it's just his head getting beat up. It's like the way they used Buggy's dog food nowadays is just so funny to me. And they're in the meeting room, they beat up Buggy, and Crocodile's talking about his utopia, this military state, like this BS again that he did in Alabasta with the whole ancient weapon. Like Crocodile definitely is a very, very interesting character and how much he wants that military state. And you gotta keep it real, Buggy actually pressed Mihawk and Crocodile. Now he didn't just check them like out of nowhere, but he did say, yo, I don't mean to offend you guys, but I gotta keep it real. You guys are frauds. This is not how pirates actually move. Like, and honestly, Mihawk gets pissed. Like, what the hell? Like, I think I'm gonna take advice from a croc coach like you, but I'm telling you guys right now, Buggy was like, no, this is not the legitimate way how pirates move, because Mihawk's talking about opening overwhelming power, and then Crocodile's talking about we want to be this military state, this utopian. Buggy's like, no, I was a part of the Pirate King's crew. This is not what true pirates are. You guys are like, what are you guys doing, yo? And I like how Buggy, of course, informs his men worth 5+ billion berries. Like, he informs them how him being on the Pirate King's crew, not getting to Laugh-Tale because he got sick, and Shanks also not going, he's just giving them information about legendary pirate stories. Buggy knew Shanks was him. Like, back in the days, you get a flashback, and Buggy says, yes, I knew Shanks had potential to become the Pirate King. He surpassed me. I had no chance in our rivalry. And he knew Shanks was him, so he actually wanted to join Shanks, but gets mad when Shanks said, nah, I'm not going to Laugh-Tale just yet. Obviously, we know the reason, because Roger told Shanks something, and of course, it could be connected to the whole Kozuki Oda talking about the 20 years in the future, these pirates from the new generation. Maybe Shanks knew about it just like Kozuki Oda knew about it, and that's why Shanks like, maybe I want to wait till 20 years till things actually start popping, and that's what he did. But Buggy wanted Shanks to follow in Roger's footsteps, and was actually sick that Shanks was not following in Roger's footsteps. Now Shanks, of course, is going for it, so Buggy's thinking, okay, now you want to go for the Laugh-Tale? Now you want to go for the One Piece? I'm not getting left behind. If you're going to go for it, I'm going for it too, because we have the same status. I'm a Yonko, you're a Yonko, so may the best man win, and he says, I want to become the Pirate King. And honestly, that's how you know Buggy's a legendary pirate, because he said it right there and he meant it. A lot of people say I want to become Pirate King, but you could tell they don't really mean it. Buggy meant it in that moment, because he's getting his ass whooped. Of course, the reaction of Crocodile and Mihawk are very logical, because Crocodile and Mihawk are some of the most logical characters. We seen with Crocodile and Alabasta telling Luffy, like, you just can't come in the Grand Line and think you're the shit. And Mihawk, of course, logical, saying, oh, you want to become the Pirate King? That's even more harder than becoming the world's greatest swordsman. These are very logical guys. So their reaction to Buggy saying this, Crocodile's like, you're behind your own con. Pretty much Buggy is thinking he's actually him, when Buggy originally knows he was bullshitting that he was actually him. But Mihawk also says, we're gonna carry you like it's Call of Duty, like it's a, I don't know, Call of Duty 1v3. I don't know what that whole situation of carrying. I haven't played Call of Duty in years, guys. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, but definitely want to say Mihawk's like, we're not carrying you guys. And then Crocodile says, we're not playing pirates. You have no clue or no plan. Now this is where the most controversial moment of the chapter comes, and it's bringing a lot of discussion points. Mihawk says, do you really want us to fight Red Hair, Blackbeard, and Straw Hat? And a lot of people are taking this a little too far. Like me, even myself, I was in Brago's stream and I was making jokes, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not obviously not taking this too serious. Mihawk is being logical. Like, that Straw Hat pirate is a Yonko with a whole fleet, and he has guys like Rono Zoro, Finsmoke Sanji, Jinbei. These are all billion-berry bounty men. And then look at Blackbeard pirates. They have Aokiji, Shitty the Rain, and a bunch of level 6 prisoners that are legendary. And then you look at, and the new original Blackbeard pirates got new Delphoid abilities. Van Arga with, of course, the teleport. Jesus Burgers with the strong fruit. Doc Q with the whole disease fruit. Like, I'm telling you guys right now, these Blackbeard pirates are legit. And Lafitte, to me, has always been a strong Blackbeard pirate. We haven't really seen him look bad in the actual One Piece story. And then we have Red Hair Shanks, who are known for his crew. His fleet sucks, but he's known for Ben Beck being Lucky Roo and Yasa being monsters. And his whole entire crew has balance too. So I'm not going to give Mihawk some flack for saying this statement, but a lot of people are looking at it as like, yo, you were talking like, oh, I can't wait to get chased by the Marine. You're known as a Marine hunter. You're the world's greatest swordsman. Some people are even putting you as the strongest character in the One Piece story just because they believe he's above Shanks. And a lot of people put Shanks as the strongest character in the story, especially after the Divine Departure of the Kid and Killer. But they're saying, if you're all these things, why are you dodging the smoke? Why are you ducking the fade? I'm gonna be honest, I never looked at Mihawk as the strongest character in the One Piece story, and that's why I'm not really taking this that serious. It's not a big deal. Mihawk's the world's greatest swordsman. He's strong. I think Mihawk's at least like Yonko level, but I don't think this is making Mihawk look bad. The fact that he's being logical about fighting these 3 Yonkos. It's not like he's saying I don't want to fight. It's not like he's saying, oh, I don't want to fight these Yonkos, I'm scared. Oh, it's more so like he's thinking, seriously, you really think we're gonna take on these guys like with just me, you, like Crocodile? Let's be honest with you, at best Crocodile's like Yonko commander level. And then you have Mihawk, who's Yonko level. But then who else do you guys have? You got Buggy, who's like East Blue level. And then Buggy does say something that's very logical himself. He says, Buggy says we only need to beat them to it. And says picks up the Den Den Mushi, and Buggy motivates his crew to go for the One Piece. Every pirate's first dream, and I love this message. He says every pirate's first dream, and Crocodile's pissed, Mihawk's pissed, but he says every pirate's first dream is to go claim the One Piece. So let's go claim it, pretty much. And then he's just hyping up his crew, and his crew starts going crazy. And Crocodile and Mihawk just thinking we're gonna have to carry these guys because Crocodile and Mihawk are the only strong characters. Well, there's other strong characters, but they're the only like monsters we know so far on this crew. Like if they get Weevil, if they get Doflamingo, if they get the other former warlords on this crew, I would be hyped. Shout out to the Impel Down 2.0 theory by Zakia1. But honestly, right now, they even know, like, we cannot get the One Piece. Regardless if we beat them too, like, these monsters of Blackbeard, Shanks, and Luffy are all, like, that's their goals from the get-go. And we just come out of nowhere and say we're going to become the Pirate King. They're going to beat us in manpower. They're going to beat us in just willpower. They all want it more than them. Let's be honest here. Like Crocodile and Mihawk don't really have aspirations for Pirate King status. Buggy does though, so let's see if Buggy's willpower is strong enough to actually get to Laptail and actually see the One Piece. If I see Buggy and he sees the One Piece and like there's a meme of like Buggy's about to become the Pirate King and then Luffy out of nowhere steals it, that to me would be amazing. Now let's actually talk about the more, how do I say this, serious part of the chapter. I think the Buggy start was the funniest and like that was the most hype for me, but I gotta talk about this stuff because this is also hype. The Revolutionary Army commanders. We got a vice captain named Ushiano. He's a cow. He's a vice captain to I believe Morley's crew. Then we have Ahiro, a metal-armed Eustace Kid lookalike girl version. She's the vice captain to Bello Betty's group. Then we have Giamble. It's this fat Humpty Dumpty looking character who's the vice captain to Lindbergh. And then we have G-Run, this guy who's eating a telescope with a mask, and he's the vice captain to Caruso. And we always knew Caruso and Bello Betty looked the most normal of the Revolutionary commanders, so the fact that the vice captains also looked the most coolest in this group. Like the cow wasn't even speaking English. Like what's going on, guys? So honestly, there was some weird vice captain to these commanders. Then we see the Lelouchans that were saved by Sabo. Sabo comes back to the ship. The Lelouchans are there. And it's pretty cool because obviously we know the whole situation of like before we actually see Sabo, like they're betting and the guy is like, yo, I bet it's Sabo, $1 million, a million berries that it's Sabo. Of course, that's because he actually has some sort of power that can see far, I'm guessing. But we see Sabo and brings the Lelouchans from the island, says he wasn't actually on the island when, of course, Imsama destroyed it. And then we also know that whole situation of Lelouchans and the girl with the cow and Ace. So the connections are very there. They're very poetic, but I thought that was something I had to discuss. I'd love to see other Revolutionary commanders like Koala's reaction. Like she's so mad, she goes for a kick, a fishman karate kick, and then of course she starts hugging Sabo. Like, why didn't you say anything? And Sabo's like, yo, I tried to. I don't want them to hear our conversations. Then we see Morley jump out of nowhere and scare everybody with his reaction. Morley is definitely a very, very interesting character. I'll say that. And then we have Bello Betty, who's of course talking to the Lelouchan people and try to inspire them. You know, her Dolphin ability inspires people. So the reactions to Sabo coming back, I thought that was pretty cool. And then of course Sabo has a meeting with the founders of the Revolutionary Armies, Ivankov, and the leader of the Revolutionaries, Monkey D. Dragon, and they're sitting down at a small table. And I'm just thinking, when are you guys gonna do something? I know this guy Monkey D. Dragon is one of the strongest characters in the One Piece story, but I'm just like, yo, do something. Like, Dragon, what really happened? And there's the whole situation of Sabo's telling them what really happened on Mary Joa's. Of course, I personally want to know what happened. Like, there's Imsama there, there's of course Green Bull there, the battle there, Sabos Feats we're gonna see, maybe some new secrets that Sabo found out. It's another side of the most hype arc that we know, Reverie. So I'm excited, I'm down for it. I'm loving it, guys. I'm truly loving it. Then of course I want to quickly go through the beginning of the chapter. We have Suru breaking down the Pepe Kingdom. Many died to starvation. No wonder he was killed there, with of course the bounties on their head. It's worse because unlike pirates, Marines actually have to try to protect civilians. So they're actually trying to protect civilians, but the same people they're trying to protect are trying to kill them. It's all around this whole genius plan by Buggy. It's actually a genius plan. Like Buggy the genius, I'm gonna give him some respect for this plan of putting bounties on the Marines. I've ended, they should have done this way earlier. These other Yonko crews should have done it way earlier because it would have made it way easier to deal with Marines bothering them every 2 seconds. Then we of course have Suru there and Sengoku. Sengoku says if we don't neutralize Cross Guild, they're gonna weaken the morale of every navy and of course weaken in general the entire Marines. And Sengoku's starting to see, like, he's the former fleet admiral, he's the tactician, he knows that this is actually gonna be very scary if Cross Guild doesn't get taken out. So now we have a situation where it's probably going to be a war of the Marines versus Cross Guild, and we had the Marine Hunter and Mihawk part of Cross Guild, so we could see a Mihawk versus an Admiral very, very soon when it comes to future battles in the One Piece story. Then we have Crocodile, a Loga user who also obviously got stronger since of course Alabasta maybe he would fight a Logia user in the level ability like Kizaru and Admiral. Like, if we see Crocodile versus Admiral and Mihawk versus Admiral in this Marine War, I would love it. And the last thing I've talked about is Tsuru Sengoku's reaction to GARP saving, of course, Kobe and taking Tsuru's granddaughter, Kujaku, and the fellow Sword members. We finally got confirmation that GARP's not actually a part of Sword, and he's going against Blackbeard and Hachinuso. Was hilarious. Probably not the first time they reacted like that. He's got to understand, Sengoku and Tsuru grew up with GARP in the Marines, so they're thinking this guy's on his crazy stuff again at the age of 78 years old. GARP just does not know what to quit it, and they'll be even more shocked to see that GARP is fighting his former disciple, Aokiji. So that reaction of them screaming "what" was just more funny than it actually was. It was deeper actually than just two Marines saying surprised that GARP's doing this. More so they know GARP who he is, and it's just a funny reaction in general. Like this whole Tsuru granddaughter being there too. All in all, I thought that was amazing stuff. But like I said, guys, One Piece is on fire. Every week, every chapter, we're getting goated content. I'm not even being biased, guys. Like, every week we're getting an amazing chapter, and this chapter was also amazing. Now I do want to say this: if you guys are a fan of the videos, click on the end screen to see my, of course, my meeting Scarper Gabon video. I thought that was a really good video. You guys really showed support on that. And of course, turn on notification, like and share video, like and share only if you enjoy Scrap from One Piece content, because I got more One Piece content coming. I might even drop a video tomorrow. This video gets, let's say, whoever made to the end of this video, this gets 300 likes, I'll drop a video tomorrow. But of course, click the end screen, click on that video with Scarper Gabon. I'm the Legend Mac, and I'm gone.